Larry Fink has been appointed as the interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum. Folks, this is a huge news and it can be really, really big for Stellar XLM folks. If you do not know, BlackRock and Larry Fink, they are a big deal in the world of finance, and now Larry being the interim co-chair of WEF, I think it is a huge game changer for the world of finance, and not just only crypto, and Stellar can benefit a lot from this. How? We're going to be basically dissecting that in a moment. Let's check this out first. BlackRock's Larry Fink has been appointed as the interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum. Look at this. Why is it beneficial for projects such as XLM and the other utility projects? A strong supporter of tokenization. You all know XLM is deep in tokenization, in the world of tokenization, real world assets, be it XDC, be it XLM, be it XRP, all of them are huge when it comes to tokenization. Fink could influence financial systems to adopt tokenization, making it a priority. Folks, tokenization will be a multi-trillion dollar industry in the future, and XLM can benefit a lot from this. And the Stellar BlackRock connections, be it hidden or be it visible, they have been there. The writing is in the wall. Check this out. This is crypto mentality over here. Huge. BlackRock has secret partnership with Stellar. So this is how Larry Fink's association with the World Economic Forum is beneficial to XLM, folks. The connections were already there. Larry Fink says it is an international asset, cross-border. It has a differentiating value versus other asset classes. Although most of the time the community tries to connect the dots, but we all know Larry is very bullish when it comes to tokenization and crypto. It has been transparent. More importantly, because it is so international, it is going to transcend any one currency valuation. So let's check this out.
More and more global investors are asking us about the role of crypto. And as I said, I do believe a lot of crypto is going to be, it's an international asset. It has a differentiating.
By the way, now imagine this is the interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum speaking that crypto would have value, the digital assets will have value. So yeah, this is huge in my opinion.
Value versus other asset classes, but more importantly, because it's so international, it's going to transcend any one currency and currency valuation. If you just look at the value of our dollar, how it depreciated the last two months and how much it appreciated over the last 5 years, I mean, an international crypto product can really transcend that. And that's why we believe there's great opportunities, and that's why we're seeing more and more interest. And that interest is broad-based worldwide.
Folks, in my humble opinion, Larry Fink being associated with World Economic Forum is a huge win for Stellar in particular and crypto in general, folks. Look at this crypto mentality. BlackRock just confirmed crypto's role in the future. XRP and XLM were mentioned. In this interview, Alenka Grealish, senior analyst at Celent, highlights what Larry Fink discussed at Sibos. So this is a discussion on what Larry discussed. Swift International Banking Operations Seminar. If you do not know, Sibos is a huge event. This is a must watch, and a tag over here to Stellar, folks. So yeah.
Takeaway is that increasingly FIs recognize that banking and payment systems have not kept up with the pace of advancements in the digital economy and in trading. E-com operates 24/7 cross-border relatively inexpensively. Trading, the front office is automated, there's low latency. Then you switch gears. Banks operate still typically in terms of batch processing, store and forward, and payments, messaging, clearing, and settlement are often decoupled and can take days. This dichotomy is just unsustainable. And in response, we're seeing and hearing at Sibos how a number of FIs and FI-backed consortiums are harnessing blockchain, smart contracts, digital assets to align the performance of banking and payment systems with those of the digital economy. The second takeaway, I'd say, is that the Internet of Value is beginning to crystallize. And let me start with a framework. Let's think of the old industrial flywheels that take a lot of energy to make a half turn and a full turn. But once they start turning, there's momentum and it's hard to stop them. So let's overlay adoption of blockchain and digital assets. They've proven value. So part of the first turn, feasibility, certainly. And now we're seeing these use cases get into the bottom of that first turn, economic viability. And there's some exciting initiatives we heard about at Sibos around interbank payments, delivery versus payments, for example, correspondent banking, messaging, cross-border, interbank, intrabank, intra-company, and importantly, when we get to the ESG, the S part, remittances. So lots of interesting energy there. And we're seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP, Stellar Lumens, and stablecoins like USDC playing an important role in getting that wheel to turn and deliver the Internet of Value. Also, the introduction of central bank digital currencies will accelerate the mainstreaming of digital assets. I'd say my third, coming to the crown jewel here, cryptocurrencies are gaining legitimacy as a new asset class. When the Bitcoin paper first came out, it was going to be the missing link, the Internet of Value, a medium of exchange. But as we know, Bitcoin failed as a medium of exchange for legal activities. Then the pivot was to blockchain, distributed ledger technology as the new disruptor. Now we're seeing Bitcoin as in the lead as a new digital asset class, which has profound implications. It's been initially driven by retail investors. Now we're seeing institutional investors enter the game. And with institutional investors, you get more sophisticated demand. And that certainly is going to accelerate developments in decentralized finance. And we're seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP, Stellar Lumens, and stablecoins like USDC playing an important role in getting that wheel to turn and deliver the Internet of Value.
Folks, this is not your everyday Joe talking over here. This is the senior analyst saying that projects like XRP, Stellar, USDC, Circle, they're going to be playing a pivotal role in the world of cryptocurrency, in the world of finance. They're like the Internet of Value, and they're going to be playing an integral part in the new financial structure. While she also claimed that BTC does not have that legal mechanism in place for it to become that integral part of the new chain, the new financial chain. Because folks, as you all know, regulations are important, whether someone likes it or not. No matter how much of a decentralization maxi you become, we are all in for decentralization, be it in projects such as Stellar or any other. But you need that regulatory framework in hand for this industry to survive. And the senior analyst explicitly says that cryptocurrencies are becoming legitimate. Check this out. Recently, BlackRock's Larry Fink shared his thoughts on what the next 7 years of finance could look like. We need globalization, folks. So this is someone who has become an interim co-chair for the World Economic Forum. We're going to be looking at this in a moment. So look at this. BlackRock caught suppressing XRP, hbar, and XLM, although this was December 19th, 2024. So things have changed. This was another perspective, an alternate perspective on what BlackRock, Larry Fink are doing. But suppressing it for what? For the final institutional adoption, a lot of people were saying, folks. So yeah. Check this out. Let's see some technicals. XLM weekly 2017 fractal starting from the same candle that rejected the 0.786 level. Interesting that this fractal shares confluence with the Fibonacci, both indicating a top of the week of September 22nd. There's also astro confluences around this time frame. So basically this chart looks so good on the higher time frame, basically the HTF. Check this out, the 1 week chart over here. Yeah, seems really good in the in the higher chart frames, basically. Yeah, crucial resistance lines. If they are broken, folks, then I think fireworks will happen, and soon we will be above $1 in no time. Sooner or later, we are going to be reaching those levels, folks. We are going to be reaching the XRP levels. Yeah, in terms of price. Yeah, look at this. Truly potential to do that in the short to the medium term because the fundamentals are strong. We talked about the BlackRock, Larry Fink ties. Aside from that, look at this, folks. Most don't realize just how deep the XLM ties run. Obviously, the connections are deep. People haven't realized it yet, but XLM is one of the legit projects out there, avoiding most controversies. Look at this. We take a look at the advisors, directors, and we see connections to global giants. The connections are there, connections with OpenAI, General Motors, Meta, MoonPay, you name it, folks. And of course, Stripe CEO also serves directly on the advisory board too. This is awesome. The advisors, look at this, stellar. Stripe, Patrick Collison, CEO of Stripe, OpenAI, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, founder of AngelList, Naval Ravikant. Then we've got professor at UCLA, Anderson Bhagwan Chaudhry. Then we've got general partner at Founders Fund, Keith Raboy. Director at the Apache Software Foundation, Greg Stein. So many stakeholders over here, folks. Meta, General Motors, Lin Hua Wu, SVP and Chief Communications Officer at General Motors, Board of Directors, by the way. Ronaldo Lemos, shout out to Ronaldo, Professor of International and Public Affairs and partner at PNM Advogados. Asif Hirji, President of MoonPay. And over here we've got Jed McCaleb, the co-founder and chief architect at Stellar Development Foundation. Awesome, folks. Vijita says the father of the internet and Stellar's co-founder are business partners. This isn't just crypto adoption. The architects of the internet have been building Web3 through Stellar. So these are the lines that are being connected, the dots that are being connected by the community, by the researchers, by the analysts. I have a question for my followers. What do these two people have in common? If you are a fan of XLM, this little fact will blow your mind. I will see if anyone knows first. Comment down below with your thoughts. So yeah, look at this. Since Cerf equals father of the internet, Joyce Kim equals co-founder of Stellar org, Brian Behlendorf, executive director of Hyperledger, all connected through Spark Labs. So the internet's founding fathers chose Stellar. I mean, these are the levels, folks. These are the levels, huge levels. Look at this. Cyprus Demand in Core says that this massive relocation of all the money, this is coming from Franklin Templeton. Everything is moving on chain. This is not the time to be fearful, folks. So lock in. This is what we're talking about. Awesome. Now let's see this post over here as well. Globalization 2.0 worked for those who had savings. We need globalization 2.0. Globalization worked for those who had savings, who invested. Let's see. The new interim co-chair of World Economic Forum. Huge for Stellar, in my opinion, and the utility projects.
Going to be, but the next 7 years I'm very confident in. And so, yes, I mean, the United States is shaking up, I would say, the foundation of globalization, shaking up how we work together with allies. We are trying to, you know, and I wrote about this. We need globalization 2.0. Globalization worked for those who have savings, who invested. Globalization lifted more human beings than any time in the history of human beings in over the last 25 years. More human beings were lifted to middle class than any other time. That being said, many segments of society have been left behind. And if you go back to 2014-15, when you started having talks about Brexit, and then you ultimately had Brexit, and you had rising populism in many countries, and that is a direct result of globalization worked for the entire world, but did not work for many segments. And I think those segments were left behind, and globalization 2.2, and I think this is a fair assessment, we need to broaden the economies to make it work, working it for more. Yeah. And so that's the conversation I'm having with leaders. My conversations in Europe are very different than my conversations I'm having here. I mean, it's true, and I wrote about it. First conversation you have with everybody is, what's going on? Where are tariffs going? And, I know as much as anybody else on that. I mean, but I would say
So folks, do you think that Larry Fink becoming the interim co-chair of the World Economic Forum, is it beneficial for crypto in general and Stellar in particular? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.